Turn up to the max, get me faded till I'm gone, dude. I do what I want, couldn't stop me if you wanted to. I just work hard, yeah, harder than the rest. Some people say I'm lucky, others saying that
we are live. What's up, everybody? Welcome back. It is 7:15, another night of, that's right, Tackle Talk. You guys know the deal. Your boy Beards every Tuesday night at 7:15 is on the scene. Rise and shine, baby. For those of you that are just joining us, if it's your first time tuning into this, little Tackle Talk, little moments we have, our conversations, go ahead and hit the button. You guys know what to do. Thumbs up on the way in. And if you like what you see, come back for more. It's always there. Let's give a shout out to the chat. We got Kristen J, Wes Sims, Robert Sharp, Shawanda, the great Mo Grady, Wild Guy Rocky in the house, Jeff Say. Oh, you guys, the list needs to grow, and it will. And I'm not even worried, because tonight's topic, boys and girls, it's a hot one. It's a hot one. How to not become famous, okay? And what I mean by that, boys and girls, there has been a little bit of cheating. That's right. That's right. All these years, you guys, all these years, I have wondered, how does this occur? How are these guys pulling these monster bags of fish, man? You know what I mean? Like, that fish don't look 8 pounds. That fish don't look 7 pounds. What's going on? Rod Slug made it in. Stream Element Bot Jam. Hey, Stream Element Bot. That's pretty funny. That thing kicked in like an hour later. I've waited to hear you. Oh yeah, trust me, Rocky. This is gonna get good. We're gonna have to, easily, slowly work our way into this, because I want to tell you a little bit about some of the experience that I have had first. Hey, Rachel. Hey. Yeah. So, like I said, I want to tell you guys a little bit about experiences that I have had personally in the tournament game. You guys know I'm not like some big avid. Let's get it. I'm not there yet. You understand what I'm saying? But I do some of the bigger ones, some of the local ones, and y'all know I've been known to compete now. I have been known to compete. But one thing I cannot compete with is 8 pounds of lead sinker. I just don't have it in me, boys. I just don't have it in me. Have I ever questioned some of the fish I've seen? Yup, I have. That leads me to the next conversation. You guys remember the Cabela's tournament this last year, right? We had that Cabela's tournament. We all watched the video together. It was really, really cool. You know what I'm saying? I didn't weigh in anything. It was 3 days. It was rough, but you know what? I gave it my all. You know what I'm saying? Thank you. I appreciate that, you guys. But I didn't really show up like I wanted to show up, man. It really hurt my feelings. I never got back to the weigh station. So what I did today is I kind of looked back into my day one numbers that took off on that Friday. And 638 is when they sent. Now here the tournament rules stated that you were not allowed to have a line in the water or have your electronics on prior to the official start time, which was going to be mass texted out to everybody, right? Was that an 8 pounder? Yeah, it was, Rod. That was an 8 pounder in that video. If you guys haven't seen that video Rod's referring to, I just stuck out a little short. It was just a recycling, man. I'm not going to lie. It was just some older content. I just cut it down into a smaller format, right? Totally unforgivable. Thanks, Robert. I appreciate that. So here's what I was saying, right? So let's get back to it, man. Let me finish this point first, you guys. God, talk amongst yourselves. No, I'm just kidding. If you got a notification tonight, guys, hit a 1 in the chat for me, because we got to get the chat moving a little bit. We're going to working. I'm going to hang out and talk with you guys, okay? Because this is for all of us. This is a serious conversation tonight. So one of the things I found out is that everybody that just put a 1 in the chat, thank you so much, you guys, for hanging out. That's really, really cool. Wild Guy Rocky, that's so cool to see you in here, man. I appreciate the support. So like I was saying, man, only I think 17 people actually have notifications for streams. Hurts my heart, but that's all right. That's all right. So let me get back into the story. Okay, so what ended up happening was, first call for ready day. Skrilla's in the house. What's going on, bud? First call for cast. First cast was at 6:38, right? First weigh-in started at 7:15. Now, depending on what lake you were on, it didn't matter. But here was the tournament rules. You could get off your boat. You know what I'm saying? I mean, get off your boat, but you could launch your boat, right, in any lake in the series, in the allowed lakes in this series, all right? You could then catch a fish, trailer your boat, and drive to the weigh-in location, because that was central to all the chains on the Harris Lakes. So where it gets pretty cool is that, if you did lock into a fish, man, and you tried to get through the gates and the locks and stuff like that, it could have taken you hours to get around some of these lakes, okay? So realistically, being able to trailer your stuff and run it back around, game changer. Was there anyone checking your boats prior to? Honor system. Here's where it gets good. So within the first hour, we've got Nilo on the board, and I put the 5.5 that you guys saw in the second hour. Okay, so we're in the debate now. 5.5, do we go to the ramp? First hour numbers are coming in, you guys. First hour numbers, okay? Dude, there's a 968 leading the board in the first hour weigh-in that started at 7:15, which theoretically wasn't even 40 minutes after first cast. It was actually less than that. It was 24 minutes after first cast. And you're going to tell me, honestly, that somebody got a chance to catch a fish first cast, you know what I'm saying? Literally, you guys. First cast, bink. Oh, look at me. I got this fish. Oh, sticking to the live well. Oh, look at that 9-pounder. Oh, let's get back to the ramp. Everybody's loading their boats in, and you're like, yeah, I got a 9-pounder. You're going to tell me you didn't talk to anybody. You loaded the boat up. You darted around. You got through the Lake Harris morning traffic of the 300 other boaters that were trying to get in on this tournament, and you somehow magically got into the weigh-in line with a 968 first thing in the morning. Smallest fish was a 746 to round out the top 10. For for $10,000 an hour. That's what it was. I apologize. $10,000 an hour for $300,000 total prize, you guys. I'll tell you what. I had that sinking feeling. I even looked at my buddy and I was like, dude, I don't care where you're fishing on the lake. I am calling bull on every one of those. You understand what I'm saying? Censor, because the beep button is not available right now. I had it on here, but I took it off. But I'm going to go through and put a bunch of sound effects back on. Because that, I'm going to call it, it was bullshit. Straight up. You know what I'm saying? It was really, really, really terrible to see these kinds of numbers. And then I thought to myself, and I even told Patty, I was like, buddy, that's all right, man. We didn't get in that first one. We'll wait and see what the hour looks like in the second hour, and we'll decide whether we're going to take off and go back. You know what I mean? So I was really excited about that. No, that's not what happened at all. You understand what I'm saying? These numbers continuously ranged between 7 and 9 pounds every hour on the hour. And I'm looking at Patty and I'm like, buddy, 5 pounds isn't even worth driving over there. You know what I mean? Realistically, at this point, now we can boat to it because it's only 35 minutes from where we are. But I looked at him and I was like, dude, a 5 pound, a 7.5 is barely going to compete. That's $1,000. Sweet. You know what I'm saying? That would be awesome to take home dollar number one with this thing. You know what I mean? But realistically, man, we're not taking home any money right now. We're sitting with 2 fish in on the first day. And what's the sense of even driving over and weighing in, man? So it's this whole honor system. Now, they were threatening polygraphs on any questionable fish. And I was like, I totally agree with that. And then I got to thinking of the logistics of polygraphs. And it was like, you kind of got to plan that and have a poly guy sitting on deck. You know what I mean? Because realistically, they're not just available just because, that's not how a polygraph guy works, What do you guys think? I mean, throw something up in the chat. If you honestly think that they're going to have a poly guy on standby for 3 days, put a 1 in the chat. Put a 1 in the chat. Sounds like a sore loser. Thanks, Kenny. Appreciate that, Kenny. Yeah, no, Kenny. There's such a thing as sore loser, and then there's such a thing as the honor system guy. And I'm going to tell you right now, if it comes down to you telling me that you caught it, I will totally not call you a liar. I'm going to say one thing. Show me. Show me. You got to have some kind of footage, bro. Did you take a picture of it out there on the water? Because I'm sure you took a picture of it before you even put it. Oh, you didn't. Oh, you didn't take a picture of it before you put it in the live well. Because it probably wouldn't show where you were at, and it probably wouldn't show the same time of day. Because more than likely, I'm gonna honestly say that there was probably about a 30% cheat on that. I'm gonna call there's a 30% chance that it's 100% cheating. Now it could just be a sore loser thing. I am a little bit bitter at the same time. I am down for competition. I am the healthiest competitor guy. I will shake your hand and say good game, even if you beat the brakes off of me. I won't be bitter about it. I won't hit you with the tennis racket. I won't do anything crazy. You understand? I've been beating tennis pretty bad. I'm not a tennis player, but I'm a competitive guy. Racquetball, I'll take your lunch money. I used to take lunch money on handball growing up as a kid, so putting a racket in my hand wasn't no big deal. But there are some things I'm really good at, and there's some things I'm really bad at. But I can tell you one thing I'm not really bad at, and that's not, just not being that guy. I'm just not. I'm not a salty dude, you know what I mean? So that brings us into this evening's topic, guys. You know who we're going to talk about. You guys know exactly who we're going to talk about. That's right. Those guys. You know those guys. I know you guys, like 475,000 people have already watched this video, okay? So listen. Don't think I'm telling you anything different than, So these guys, man, straight up, not even cool. This thing, I'm not playing it. I should have this paused. Let me pause that.
Good work, guys.
Okay, yeah, I'm not trying to play that. I'm sure you guys have all seen it. Okay, nonetheless, let's jump ahead here to the real action, because I mean this really hurts my heart, dude.
Thank you very much. I think we're down to the wire here. We got a couple more teams.
I watched this whole weigh-in, right?
Who we got?
Guys, I know exactly what this feels. I'm sorry, wrong camera. Guys, I know exactly what this feels like when that lineup is out there, right? And you're like in the line, you've got your weigh-in number, you had your takeoff number, and then from there you got your, that's the same number you got to weigh in. It would help, it would behoove you to come in, rather early, only because of the number of people. You don't want to take a chance of a dead fish, yada, 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 okay? But nonetheless, man, so there's people like sitting around waiting, guys. Like, this is a big deal. I'm a competitive guy. I'm going to put $100 that says every one of these guys would bust you in the mouth for a chance to put an 8-pound plus fish on the scale. You understand? Like, if you asked anybody in this crowd right now and you were like, hey man, let's be honest, you think you could, I'll trade you an 8-pounder to hit that dude in the mouth. Yeah, trust me, that's handled, okay, because it's tournament day, all right? These guys have got real money involved in this. You're talking about this guy, the guy who put on this event. I watched a little thing on him today. He did a public announcement on the whole situation and how he felt about it, and did a big apology, which I had no problem. I don't think he had to apologize. I'm going to be honest with you. The majority of people that fish are men. And I say that like not in the sex, not meaning like sex or gender. I just mean like emotionally they can handle being told straight up. But what occurred in this event was not only disgusting, it was downright despicable. I mean, despicable. That's the only word I could have for it. Because I've questioned a lot of things, man. I have questioned a lot of things when it comes to fishing. But one thing I have never questioned, not publicly, is somebody bringing a fish to the scale. I won't do it. I won't be like, yo, that looks a little odd. Look, what do I know, right? But when you do this long enough, you can look and tell the difference between like 6 and a 30-pound fish. You understand what I'm saying? Like, yeah, Rocky says, I hear they didn't even need it after all anyhow. Is that true? But still, clowns. Yeah, I agree, Rocky. I've come to find out they were already ahead on the points. I think this was for like 40 grand. This guy has built this Lake Erie walleye tournaments. I guess this dude has built this thing and put his entire heart into this thing, which, I mean, is fantastic. That is awesome, dude. Hats off to this guy. And for these two individuals to come forward and hearing a little bit about these guys, allegedly have like been winning this thing for a hot minute. Okay, a hot minute. And that's salty, dude. That's dirty. You understand? Like, I know professional bass fishermen. I know guys that are competing right now, they're trying to step into their own boat, BFL series. I mean, I fish with guys on a regular out here on Harris that are in the grind. I mean, they are doing it. They are giving it their all. I'm not going to lie. I don't go out there to hang out. I'm not out there to enjoy the sun, all right? I'm not out there for no best friend moments, all right? I'm out there to get it, dude. I'm out there to get it. I'm putting everything. My hands hurt. My feet, my legs are swollen from standing on them. I don't put a reel down unless I got food in my mouth. And if I got food in my mouth, and if it's something I got to chew on like a sandwich, there's a chance I got that wacky rig or something out there, or that Ned rig just bouncing around while I'm stuffing stuff in my face. Because if you don't think for a second I'm slinging my sandwich, I am. But what I will not ever do is cheat. I will not do it, okay? One of the things that we talked about when we had a little conversation about that Lake Harris tournament for the Cabela's big bass tournament on Lake Harris on the Harris chain was the rule said you had to have one hook in the mouth, inside the mouth. And I, like I said, dude, throwing them treble hooks gets real nerve-wracking because if that hook's not in the mouth, and I'm an honest guy, would I not? I can tell you right now in a 100% certainty that my integrity is greater than most individuals given my current and past life choices. And I will tell you that cheating to win or be recognized will never occur. I will not allow it. It's like cutting in line. It's like not holding the door. It's like not saying excuse me after you burp, fart, or cough. These are things I will not do. You understand? I will say excuse me. I'm very polite. I'm 100%. I love sportsmanship. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. But what these guys did, dude, this just turned it up to a whole nother level of dirtbag. And from what we're seeing in this whole thing, these guys have been like, they're winners, dude. They're straight up, this has been just straight winners. Now come to find out, these fish, it's now a lot of people have already questioned the whole, they're dead, why are the fish dead? Okay, the reason the fish are dead, guys, is because these fish are going to a food bank. They're going to be processed and given to a food bank. I guess some type of, benefit / fishing tournament that they're having for a feed the homeless or feed the needy or whatever organization that he got involved in. That's why the majority of these fish are dead. But for some reason, Buddy didn't want them fish. Like, he kind of like made a big deal about not giving them fish up and stuff. So that's where things got real sketchy from what Buddy said. And he knew the difference in the way that the fish feel, dead fish, live fish and stuff. So he got a chance to feel on them fish before, they gave them away. But this whole situation now, I want to show a little bit of the end here. I don't have it bleeped out, so we're just going to do like still photos. Okay, but what I want you guys to see is the number of people. Now, let's be honest. Okay, let's have a moment here. Hold on. Let's do this. Guys, let's just be honest. Let's be really, 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 really. Listen, I'll cast in your spot, Jeff. If you miss that fish, Jeff, you can guarantee it's coming in there. I can't believe Jeff said that. I won't cheat, but I'll cast in your spot. Jeff, I love you, man. I love you. So here we go. My issue with this whole thing, dude, is that, like, if I'm an example of a fisherman, if Outlaw is an example of a fisherman, if any of you guys in the chat is an example of a fisherman, okay, I will tell you there's a pretty good chance one of y'all is going to pop somebody in the mouth. It's going to be quick. I think everybody at this tournament showed a level of restraint much greater than a man such as I, if you understand where I'm coming from. Because if I've been dumping my hard-earned money into traveling on a tournament series or even competing in a tournament series, especially in a position like this where, I think I've got it. I've got 18 pounds, and then Buddy comes in with 33, and 8 plus is not real. Yeah, dude. There's a pretty good chance that's gonna affect my moral compass, and it's gonna have me leaning in the danger Will Robinson zone, and I might be known to pop off. You feel what I mean? I mean, I know a lot of you. Yeah, I'm a peaceful guy. I'm funny. Ha ha. We enjoy ourselves. I am not going to tell you that I would not be violent, but I'm not going to tell you I would be violent. You know, I would just say that emotions might get the better of me. Emotions. How about any of you guys? Can you honestly tell me you wouldn't be emotional? You know this wasn't the first time. That's what I'm getting at, Shawanda. It's like the guy who cuts you in line, okay? Just like we talked about on the hate channel the other day with the stinky feet and all that stuff. Dude, line cutting, lying. God, lying. My heart. That's the easiest one. You understand what I'm saying? But cheating's just like look, let's just, guys, seriously. How are you going to tell me that you have this my first time? I don't believe at all that would be your first time. I'm taking the side of the guy in this video that flipped. Dude, you understand what I'm saying? Was like, what? You cheated me last week, or whatever. Regardless. I mean, if Buddy is willing to, these aren't small weights, you guys. These are not small weights. These things are like this big. You understand what I'm saying? This is a pretty good representation of the size of these weights that these guys stuff down these fish's gullets. Okay? That is not dude, what? I dropped my bullet weight. How much? 3/16. Where'd it go? In the fish's mouth, dude. The line was broken. I went to grab all the stuff, and it fell in his gut, dude. What are we going to do? What are you going to do? You understand what I'm saying? This was, oh my God, buddy. What? I dropped that pound saltwater sinker in his gullet. Oh, goodness. There's another one. I dropped 2. Oh my God, I dropped 2 of them in there. I mean, like, that is the thing that gets me. You understand what I'm saying? That is what absolutely blows my mind about this stuff. And word is they won around $3 million last year between sponsors and everything, Jeff. I'm sure you guys, I mean, you can see this is not some little event. Hold on, you guys. This is not some little event. You understand what I'm saying? These people got their lives in this. This is serious, man. These guys have been traveling. This has grown to be quite the little circuit series. They got big time sponsors. You understand what I'm saying? Buddy is wearing, like, all these cats are wearing Ranger boat gear. I mean, this thing's got sponsorship written all over it. He's got the Rap Winnebago thing. I mean, this has turned into quite the event. This guy's living in this thing, going series to series. Buddy right here. I mean, you look at this is Fish USA. I mean, these guys got a couple of dollars, man. This is a Huck jacket. This is not, a little bit deal here. This is not a little deal. This is a lot going on, man. And for some reason, someone felt the need. And the worst part about it is, Bud, like I said, this was premeditated cheating, bro. Premeditated cheating. It is possibly the worst thing. I don't know how. They must not have a fish and game commission, because I can tell you right now, if you do that down here in Florida at a tournament, buddy, someone fitting to call the FWC, and you're going to catch like a $5,000 fine per fish, and they're probably going to take you to jail right there on the spot, no questions asked, impound your boat if you got one. Whatever facilitated your ability to commit this crime, if your automobile, all that, I guess, I don't know if legally that becomes fair game. I guess it depends on how much we're talking about here, but if you molest an animal like that, a fish, a deer, whatever, if you molest an animal in such a manner, I'm pretty sure the FWC gonna draw a real bit of attention to you real quick, buddy. Like real quick down here. And you know, the worst part about this whole thing, man, the worst part about this whole thing is that there's the people that do stuff like this, guys. It is really disgusting for those of us that put in the effort. You understand what I mean by that? Like, I put in the work, dude. I try to learn something new about fishing every day. I try to get in the bigger tournaments because I'm like really not able, and I didn't have my own boat before. Now I got my own boat. Maybe I'll see about derbies if I can get the boat in a position where I feel it's comfortable. I'm comfortable enough and it's reliable enough that I can do that. That'd be fantastic. Still got a lot of bugs to work out. We got a lower end that's getting ready to go in on the boat, so that's going to be its own adventure. The next thing we're going to have to deal with is going to end up being the damn... we got the water pump and the foot and the oil change, and then we got to figure out this oil mix and make sure we got that thing nailed once the water pump's kicking on there really strong. So I just don't know, man. Once all that occurs, I'm sure I'll get involved in some of this, but I just, that cheating thing, man, that cheating thing got me all kinds of messed up, man. Not really messed up because, like I said, I've never physically seen anyone get caught cheating. Have I questioned it in my mind? Sure, I questioned some of those things, you know, especially like I said, 7:15 in the morning, there's a dude weighing in a 9-pounder. Like, first cast. Where was he? Oh, I mean, was he fishing the dock right there? Because, I mean, logistically, getting on and off the water at those times just wasn't... It wasn't as easy as you would think it was going to be. Trust me. We live on the water and saw the mob of people that were trying to get on and off the water. It was nuts. That's right, Jeff. The Blue Pearl. I've got her coming in strong, man. I got some parts coming, buddy. Got a hot foot pedal coming. I got the water pump assembly, top, bottom, and rebuild kit with all the seals coming. I've got the top guide eye, the little turn knob for the top of the trolling motor. Got one of those coming. I got everything working, man. You'll see. I'm going to get this thing rocking and rolling here real shortly. Yeah, Skrilla, it's funny that you say that, but I do remember feeling exactly that way. Sad, hurt, let down, depressed, as if, you know, I gave it my all, and I know everybody I know gave it their all and still didn't come through with what we thought the result should be. Yeah, no, I totally see that. That was the equivalent of stuffing 2 pounds worth of bait in every fish and then walking up to the scale. I just wish I could have been there to hear the thud when they hit the plastic. You understand? Because if they were dead, they weren't really like not being mean about it. They were just kind of throwing them in there. And I'm sure, man, one of those had to give that, you know, that very distinctive plastic and heavy lead wop. You know what I mean? Like, that's what it sounded like. It probably sounded like this. I mean, it would have to. It would have to sound a little something like that. You know what I mean? The worst part about the whole situation, guys, again, is that it brings to question the integrity of everything that you compete in nowadays. And it really puts a negative sour on a sport that we're supposed to believe that you can look to the left and right of you and that guy's going to tell the truth. He's going to, you know, he's not going to lie about it. He doesn't have any, you know, fish in the live well. I can't tell you how many times we've come back to the boat ramp and seen people just drop fish that have died out of their live well because either A, they didn't make it all day, which, I mean, I can understand that, but B, more than likely, it was probably fish they left in the live well from the last time they were in a tournament. And that's just terrible, dude. I've seen some of the, it's just terrible. Like I said, I don't even know where to begin with all that. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? It for sure made a difference. Yeah, man. The honor system, bro. The honor system. Now let's transition. Let's do a little transition. Faye, that's where I'm at with it. If Faye comes in, this young lady just knocked it right out of the park. Faye says nothing's left if fishing is corrupt. I mean, of all the things, that's kind of what's hurting my soul on this whole cheating thing. And that's kind of what I was getting to earlier when I was giving you the story about my personal experiences. Not that I ever, you know, we never busted anybody doing it. I mean, it's whatever. I didn't catch any fish that were big enough to even, but there were others that were questionable nonetheless, you know, not by weight, but just the times were a little odd. Regardless, congratulations to everybody that won money. That's really, really cool. Next year, we'll see. So This is my issue with it. The morality that has to be corrupted in order to engage in such a heinous act of just despise for your fellow fishermen. I mean, to cheat, that brings it to a whole nother level of just disgust for other human beings. You know what I mean? Like, these guys are going to the meetings, right? Like, they're going to the pre-fish meetings and stuff, and they're shaking everybody's hand, and yeah, man, we're hoping to get on them, man. Yeah, me too. And meanwhile, the whole time in Buddy's brain, he's like laughing, like, we're putting 2 pounds worth of weight in every fish. We're going to be 10 pounds over on this bad boy. You know what I'm saying? I know Faye, it was a compliment, sunshine. The cheating thing, though, yeah, it'll be hard to do, but there need to be an official on every boat with a scale. Jeff, and this is my next thing, Jeff. Check this out, man. Because we had a tournament one time. You guys remember the tournament I did that had the biggest trash fish, where it was like $575, and I caught like a 9-pound mudfish, but I put it in the cooler and it jumped out of the cooler. Do you guys remember that video? I'm gonna pull it up. Because I think it's at the end of one of these videos. Hold on. Puts you guys on tunes for a sec. I'm not staring off into space, man. This is where this is. You guys know. Here, go over here. Let's look over here. Okay, that thing decided it's not on anymore. That thing just decided it was all set. All right, there. You guys can watch this with me. Look, hey, when you search Walleye Tournament Cheaters 2022, I came up. That's funny. All right, here we go. Let's go into this. Let's go to my channel. What am I doing? Pressing buttons. We're doing it live! All right, hold on. Let's go to my videos. All right, where is the tournament? I can't remember which one it was now. Dun, 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 dun. Where is it? Hold on, I know it's coming up because I'm thinking back in my history of my life and where we were when we fished that tournament, as opposed to when we were recording. Tournament. I think it's this one. Hold on, you guys. All right, there it is. That's it. All right, so you guys, if you guys didn't see this one was really crazy. This was when I caught the littlest fish I ever caught in my whole life on a tournament, and it like fell out of the boat. All right. This is when I was just learning about how to shoot B-roll and stuff, you guys. It's back in the days, way back in the days. Watch Patty hook up on this house.
Holy sh**. What the f***?
Alright, just to give you guys an idea, this is what it's like with no electronics, because that's the next thing we're getting ready to talk about. What are we looking for? We're looking for fish to come up and do something. Patty whiffs on the first cast, comes in strong, nails it. You guys see that? Whack! He put it right where that fish jumped a second ago. Now watch old Patty's action here.
Got it. Yep.
It is called being honest, Faye.
I know. Hard to tell.
Hard to tell. What's Patty got?
A little bit. Get the net, bud. Get the net.
Yeah, I got you. Keep going, bud. Keep going. Keep him down. Keep him down. Go ahead. Reel in and keep it down.
I got it.
There you go. There you go, Patty.
Get him in there.
Coaching him in.
Woo!
Look at this guy.
Nice.
Killer job, bud. You called it, too.
Come here, buddy.
Look at Buddy.
He's a decent one.
That's like a 4.5.
He's decent.
Did you go with that high vis green? Alright, now let's get over here. Oh, here, we'll watch this one, because this one's kind of cool. Again with the top water and Patty, man. Guy was crushing it.
Come on, buddy, come on. Get that net, brother. Got it. Let's get a picture of that one, bro.
Sorry, guys, that got crazy. Look at this tank,
Frog
dude.
brain's big fish, buddy. I told you. Yeah.
Guys, look in that live well, man. I mean, that's not a joke. There's a 7.5 in there. There's like a 4.5 and like a 3-pounder, right? Okay, so check this out. This is what I'm talking about. There's a reason we're gonna watch this. Sorry, you guys. I hate to bore you with this, but I know it's not really boring. But you guys probably don't watch most of my old school videos. But this is when I was just learning how to do this. Not that I'm any better at it now. I'm thinking, dude, we're fitting to put 4 in this live well. Giants. 4 giants in the live well, boys and girls. That's where my brain's
Size
going.
on him. Yep, hold on, hold on.
Patty's got to get the net for me this time.
Real soft. Oh shit, I hit his head. Come here, buddy. Bring him over here, man. He's a good size.
Here it comes, boys.
Is it? It is a mudfish. Get up.
They got the biggest trash fish or what, bud?
Maybe we should keep him.
I mean, I'm really saying that's the biggest trash
Maybe.
fish, dude. But I mean, I can't put him in there with those.
Yeah, why not? He's not gonna eat him or something.
If he does damage him, that'll be bad, right?
No, I don't think he's gonna damage him.
Guys, look at the size of this mudfish, dude. I'm like the king of finding the trash fish, okay? So when it was like $575 for the biggest trash fish, at this point I'm not catching one bigger than Jay as far as a bass goes, but I'm definitely taking the trash fish trophy as far as I'm concerned. I am taking the trash fish trophy home. It's mine.
You got that? You want to keep him?
Yeah, I mean, if you want.
Or should we just picture and scale him and be like, we don't want to hurt our big bass?
I mean, he ain't gonna hurt the big bass.
Would he hurt the big bass? No. Mudfish down.
I don't know, that was great.
You want the tongs?
Give me that thing. What do you want to do with him, man? You want to keep him or what?
You want to scale him, just get a picture of him and be like, dude, we didn't want to kill our bass.
Well, it's not gonna kill. He's not gonna kill the bass, but
Well,
whatever.
let's stick him in there.
Scale him and we'll take a picture. And if they don't want it, then whatever.
So guys, that's what I'm talking about right there. Hold on, let me end this thing up here. So here's the deal, man. Caught a muskie once, needed help reeling it into short. Yeah, I hear that, Faye. Well, what I'm talking about is, so if there was any question on, now I have the video. I cut a shorter clip of just that on the way home in my GoPro app when we were driving back to the thing. And I told the guy, I was like, hey man, we tried to put that thing in the tank and it decided to jump out of the live wells. So we weren't trying to kill the big bass because we're trying to release these things live. I was like, but I got the weight and I got the video right here. And he's like, yeah, that don't count, man. You can bring that fish back. It really wouldn't have been that big of a deal. And I was like, well, you know, I kind of didn't want to hurt the other fish. I was like, but I've got it right here on camera. Like, you can see the whole thing. He's like, yeah, it doesn't matter. And I started thinking to myself, you know what would fix all this shit with the pros? You know what would fix every bit of this? Make them put it on camera. Make them have there's your fish catch, there's your fish scale. If there's a discrepancy in the amount of time from where he caught it to where he put it on the scale, then we got a big problem. You know what I'm saying? But you can put 3 GoPros on there and run it pretty consecutively and make them have to man those GoPros. Make them have to create that video clip by showing them, oh, here's the card, here's my catches. You know, that's the end of it. If there was any question on any of those fish, boom, there's my card. You know what I mean? You can take a look at all the footage. There's nothing to question. I can show you every one of those fish. I can show you scaling those fish. And you're not seeing me putting the old, like, that's the funniest part about it. I was looking for like a fish prop. Oh, I totally got one too. Ah, it makes me mad because I should have grabbed it before the show. But if you, guys, you can't question the fish that I catch. I'm just going to be honest. Even in a tournament, even when I'm at tournament fishing, guys, you can't question the fish that I catch because I'm recording it the whole time. I want it to be a situation where somebody questions me because I will so whip out the camera footage so fast your head will spin. And then I'm going to look right at you and be like, so yeah, since we're questioning me, bud, I got to question you. Can you show me any of those fish? Nah, man. Why not? Well, I don't do that filming stuff. Okay, well then how do I know you didn't come in with those in your live well? Because it's an honor system? I mean, that's what it gets to. You know, that's a little bit nerve-wracking there. You don't want to have to question other people when you're fishing, man. I mean, you can just hope Buddy got that one good bite. You don't even know if Buddy's fishing in the same lake. But from what I heard, they had people that were biologists that were there and looking at the different patterns on the fish and doing different tests on the fish to determine what lakes they came from and stuff. I wonder how much that cost and if that was really going on. You know, that was my next question. So nonetheless, let's talk about the last thing we're going to talk about this evening, guys. And that is, how fair are these electronics? I mean, let's just be honest, all right? Let me ask you something. You guys saw the jerseys them guys had on. They had Lowrance. They had, you know, Ranger boats. They had this. They had that. I mean, every big name sponsor out there in the industry, them boys had it on their jerseys, okay? From what I'm hearing with this live scope, we're kind of taking the whole finding the fish thing right out of the equation and turned it into, I drive into a spot, I drop my trolling motor with my 4K 60-inch flat screen deck mounted TV, and I do a 300-yard swipe of the entire area in real-time HD imaging, and I can show you what fish, how many fish, what they're doing, where they're structured to. I mean, what happened to the old cast and moving baits to get the fish to spook? I.e. what you saw us doing and then trying to catch them. Like, what happened to the sport of angling? And I understand this is a multi-billion-dollar industry. Multi-billion-dollar industry, okay? And Shawanda, I'm with you. I'm kind of, listen, part of this could just be the hater inside me, okay? Because as we all know, the hate is real. But I'm not saying this in such a manner that I mean to be coarse or I mean to be offensive. What I'm saying is, if they allow it, and I guess some of the fishing tournament series are starting to discuss whether or not this is fishing. You know, is it an unfair advantage? Should it be held to everyone has to have it or no one has to have it? You know, and that's one of the things. We're seeing biggest tournament bags we've ever seen. We're seeing people changing their career just based on the ability of their electronics at a whopping cost of like $40K on some people's boats. I'm sure when it comes to chips and the whole putting it in and stuff like that, I think it's kind of distorting the reality for a lot of these young anglers. Think of it as like an unhealthy website addiction. You know, if kids are getting addicted to video games, next thing you know, you put a video game in front of them and they're out there on the front of their boat looking down in the camera talking about, oh wait, trolling motor a little left. Oh, there it is. Oh, look, you can see it coming up. Look at that fight. They're totally not even focused on what the rod and the reel are doing because they don't have to be. The little screen down, they're not little. I mean, these things are like this, you know. The screen's telling them what they should be looking for down at the bottom. As to where I kind of have to, and again, here comes the hater. Is it really a hater, though? I'll leave that for you guys to decide. But here comes the guy who comes out in the Blue Pearl. You understand what I'm saying? Is he capable of catching big fish? Yup. Does he know how to catch big fish? Yup. Can he land big fish? Yup. How do you know? We've seen it. You understand what I'm saying? Now, I'm not going to say that every cast is a giant. All right, I didn't make that claim. It should be. Listen, if I skip it in there just right and it goes 6 feet back behind that dock, you know, and I literally threw it in such a way that the bait is totally, it's right, everything's where it needs to be. There should be like a 40% Jesus bonus. You understand what I'm saying? Where it's just like, you deserve an 8-pounder. And there it is, you know what I mean? But it's not, it don't work out like that. But the reality is, when you got that live scope and you just turn that trolling motor over there towards it, and you can see that fish back there, from there it's just a cast. And if you're telling me that we've degraded the sport of fishing from hunting and searching for fish, and then finding artificial baits, and then testing artificial baits, and then the different styles of artificial baits and techniques that we've developed over the years, when in reality all it needs is one-time purchase of a $40,000 setup and you can break state records, basically. Because you can make 1,500 mistakes and that fish could swim off and you could just troll right behind them. And you could do this for a week if you had enough battery time, and that fish, and you could just find that same fish and wander right around behind him. And it didn't matter. You could have a Fisher Price pole with a Zebco. You know, you could straight be rocking the frozen blue and land that fish and catch it, because you're watching it on this little thing down on your monitor, you know? So have we degraded the sport? That's a question I'll leave for all of you guys. You know, shoot a comment down below if you're watching the video after. If you haven't been here for a live show before, guys, now's your time. Get on over. I'll link the other Tackle Talks in the description. If you're new to the channel, thanks for showing up. If you've been here for a while, guys, I do appreciate your time. Listen, it's been real. It's been fun. Wait. Cheaters never win, dude. Period. See you guys on the next one. See ya.